We're recording. All right. Where'd you go there, buddy?
Hey, Joey Image. Good to see you here, man.
Oh, yeah, Joey. I haven't seen him in chat in a long time.
Joey I Mage. He plays World of Warcraft. He's a mage.
Yep.
He's Joey I Mage.
Mm-hmm. Famed wrestling superstar and WoW aficionado, Joey Image.
That's right. He's right.
All right. Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Bel Air is the cigarette that adds a new dimension to smoking.
Why didn't it start recording? Hold on. Something went funny.
You have to press the big red button with the circle red button.
Circumcision. There's for some reason the freaking I see. Audition had an update and there's now a new button here. Let me turn that over there. Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
Bel Air is the cigarette that adds a new dimension to smoking enjoyment. First, Bel Air gives you the clean, refreshing taste of its menthol fresh blend of fine tobaccos. Then Bel Air adds the modern recessed filter, set deep, to put a breath of fresh air between the filter and you.
Pork is broken.
I'm not angry. I'm passionate. Duh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS, the morning stream for July 22nd, 2019. I'm Scott. He's Brian. Good morning, Brian.
Hello, Scott. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. I'm back from my little trip.
Yeah.
I missed everybody.
I want to hear all about that.
Yeah, it was all right. We had a nice, quiet. Well, I shouldn't say quiet. It was quiet on our side. Sadly, there was a lot of stuff happening on the internet I had to deal with while I was gone. But it was a nice way to get away with the family. We got to go to the zoo. We got to go up in the mountains. Got to hang out with Van. He's just as cute as can be, and he's smiling and talking all the time. Not with English, but
babbling.
Words.
He's babbling. Yeah,
lots of weird baby words. And he's always peeing himself, and it's great. He's awesome. So there's a lot to say about it, but it's funny. Of the entire trip, I have one moment that sticks out. Would you like to know what that moment was?
I would absolutely love to hear what this moment is.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's the deal. On what night was this? Had to be Saturday night. Saturday night, we're at this place in a little town called Midway, Utah.
Okay.
And it's this beautiful valley, about 30 minutes, I want to say, east of Park City.
Oh, okay.
And it was settled originally by a bunch of Swiss people. So the Swiss came swarming in there in the 1800s and said, "Yeah, this is where we are going to set up our shit," right?
Okay, yeah.
So I guess they could speak German, but anyway, whatever. It's very traditionally Swiss German. And when you drive through there, you'll notice a lot of the little homes and the bed and breakfasts and the little main street town. Lots of Bavarian style, sort of beer fest looking architecture everywhere. So
sure.
it's very Swiss and
Scandinavian
all that.
Swiss, yeah.
And they got like lots of little cheese shops and special bakeries that specialize in like Swiss baked goods and things like that. It's really cool. And every year they have something called Swiss Days, and that place becomes a nightmare. Just no parking. It's packed with people. Every 2 feet there's something to look at. Like, people love it. It's a huge thing here. We're not there during Swiss Days, so it's much quieter. And there's this restaurant that is otherwise so packed, we actually could get seats for, which is, I forgot the name of it, but it's this really great, like, Italian slash, what's the other thing they focus on? I forgot. Anyway, like real oven, fire-baked pizzas and things like that. And so we're sitting there, and we're outside, and it's beautiful outside, and the temperature up there in Midway is about 10 or 12 degrees lower than it is in the valley, so it's just right.
Perfect.
Really nice, yeah. You know how that is with you guys. You go up in the mountains, it's just perfect.
Totally.
In the hot
Cools,
summer.
and especially when it's hot summer, it's like, oh, this is nice.
And down here in the valley yesterday, it was 103 freaking degrees. So, it was nice to be in a place that was a little crisper, a little cleaner, a little less hot. And we're sitting there, and I hear wafting from the far left side of me some what it turns out to be some lovely cover music.
Oh,
And I
okay.
thought of you because of this guy. And there was a guy sitting there. He's in a little tiny pavilion outside. It's just him, his acoustic guitar, his little mixer thing on the floor that you can like kick switches and do stuff with, a microphone, and a little bucket for tips. And he is doing the single coolest covers of every song you and I grew up with that I've ever heard. Like, I don't even know how to describe this, but every kind of song, pop song from the 80s you can think of, he's doing like this chill, smooth cover of. With this really ethereal, kind of almost angelic kind of voice this guy has. He looks like an insurance agent, though. Kind of stocky. He's got a button-down shirt, got a collar. He's got these
Wanted
kind
to
of
sell you
khakis.
Geico. You hook you up with Geico between songs.
Yes, that's kind of what he looks like. But he's none of those things. He's this angel-voiced, like freaking does gigs in Midway, and he was amazing. So my favorite moment of the entire trip was I took Van over there, sat right next to where this guy's amp was, right next to him, and just held the baby here on my left side, and he just kind of chilled on my shoulder, and listened to this guy play some of the coolest, awesome covers of things like I can't even remember what songs they were now, but it's like all the stuff that we grew up with.
Did he do Africa, Scott? Come on, the world wants to know.
He
Did
didn't do Africa, no, and I didn't, and I was tempted to go see if he'd do a request, and I didn't do it.
but stuff like from that area, like
Yeah,
probably a Hall & Oates song or
sort of, but a lot of it was too is like there's some new wavy stuff in there, and
gotcha.
so, like a lot of Tom Petty covers, like Tom Petty and the
This
Heartbreakers,
isn't,
sort of mid '80s style Tom Petty. It was just
I mean,
really
you'd know if it was that Matt or Mark Massa or Matt Messa. There's a guy that's local to Salt
the
Lake
pizza
area.
guy. No, not him.
The pizza guy, yes. Yeah,
Right.
that guy's great.
That guy
Yeah.
is great. In fact, for a hot second, I thought maybe this is that guy, but it wasn't that guy. It was a
Yeah.
different guy.
Huh.
And the closer you got to him, the more you realized he looked. Here's the truth: he looked like you in Business Casual. That's what he looked like.
Oh, so he was just devilishly handsome, is
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
the ladies were just
Yes.
melting. Everybody there just couldn't believe the amount of handsome coming off this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard for me even, and I'm I'm not really gay or anything, but I was.
Lots of phone numbers written on napkins thrown into his dollar basket, his dollar bowl, whatever.
But
Yeah.
the best thing that happened though is Van and I are just sitting there chilling, kind of singing along to it. Oh, we did some great James Taylor covers, which were really good. What's that one that James Taylor sings? It's my favorite song he ever did, called I can't think of it. I'm too tired. Frick, whatever it is. He just did these amazing versions of it.
You've got a friend.
No, none of those. It's more like one that you don't hear very often, which might be why it's my favorite, because his most common ones kind of grate on you after a while.
Sweet Baby James.
Oh, that might be it. That's it. That's the one.
Sweet Baby James.
I love that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. He's singing that, and just everyone's, and the place goes nuts when he's done that, like clapping. I haven't heard that much excitement at a little casual restaurant. He's supposed to just sort of be background noise, but at one point he's there. I'm there with Van. People are walking around. People are chilling, eating their food. It's starting to be sundown. It's gorgeous out there. And 3 little kids come up to his little tip bucket. And the first one puts $1 in. And the second kid puts $5 in. And the third kid looks at the guy, looks at the box, looks at the guy, and then proceeds to reach in and grab a handful of money and run the other direction.
Nice.
It was really funny.
Kids
Anyway.
don't understand how that whole thing works.
No, they're confused. So anyway, it was very nice. On the whole, just a great little escape. Spent a lot of time in Park City. Went up and down Main Street and did all the shops and the stuff,
Very
and
cool.
had some cool food.
I wonder why was I thinking you were going up to Mount Rushmore? I was thinking that this was a road trip for some reason. I don't
Oh
know
heck
why.
no, Rushmore. No, Wendy's going to Rushmore. She told us
That's
that on
what
Thursday.
it was. Yes, she was talking about Rushmore on Thursday. Yep, that's
Yeah.
why. Okay.
Because they're going to drive all the way from Minnesota, and they're going to stop in the Dakotas.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
That's right.
That's a long drive. No, for us it was much shorter. I think it takes me maybe an hour to get where we went. So it was nice though. We have a timeshare up there, so we used that, and it was kind of this Swiss villa kind of looking place, and it was just it was nice. You got to do that once in a while. You just got to
Yeah.
get out there with the people you love the most and hang out with them, and We played my new card game a whole bunch. Did a little testing on
good.
that.
A little play testing. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
everyone came away loving that. I added a couple of twists to it that are super competitive, and they may be a little too competitive. I gotta make sure that gets dialed back a little bit, but that went well, and yeah, it was a really nice time. So
Cool.
now I'm back
I
in the
think,
valley where it's 105 degrees. It's fantastic.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, this coming weekend, Tina's making another one of her work trips down to New Mexico. I think I'm going to join her this weekend, so
nice.
we'll figure out what that means for the show. Monday's show will definitely be done from the hotel.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll need to figure out the Tuesday situation because we may be driving at that point, or we may do the show and then drive after the show, or maybe I'm in for the first half of the show. You bring in, maybe Jury does the second half of the show with you or something like that. We can figure it all out.
Well, that sounds like fun. It's a good time up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Or down there, I guess. Over there for you guys. Let's see.
Down there. for
Down there?
us.
It's down there, yeah.
It's down there. It's straight south.
I guess it's down there for both of us now that I think about it.
It's just it's a nice little getaway before all the birthday shenanigans start happening.
I did go to the zoo, and that was yesterday, and that was hot, really hot at the zoo.
Now, is that in Park City or is that back in Salt Lake?
Back in Salt Lake, we have a city zoo here called the Hogle Zoo, and it's where we have a stuffed liger there because
Wait, a stuffed liger?
yeah, because he died years ago, but they're so proud
Oh,
of
okay.
this.
So he's a taxidermy stuffed.
Yeah. They're so
I
proud
thought he
of
was
this.
just really full from a big meal.
No, he's a good.
from eating one of the gazelle.
Yeah. Plus, the elephant ostrich.
That's right.
We do nothing but combine.
Ostrifant.
Yeah,
we
we
were
just-
eating one of the ostrifants.
We just cross our animals here. That's all we do. But anyway, it's a great little zoo. We like it here, and it's reasonably priced. Blah blah blah. However, you're still going to pay like $18 a ticket. Okay.
yeah.
It's the dead of summer, and that means if you're going in there, it's the perfect hey, it's summer. Let's take the kids. Let's go to the zoo. But that means all of the animals, and I mean all of them, are sleeping or not there.
Right.
They're either
right.
out there laying and basking in the sun and dead asleep and won't budge, or they're hiding in one of the little shade places
One of
where
the
they're
places that
protected.
they get.
Yeah.
Hey Van, look over there. See that brown lump? That's a lion. Yeah.
Yeah, we never could get the apes were super slow and just kind of mumbling around and not doing
Yeah.
anything, and it just bummed me out, man. Like the whole
See
point
that
of
hole
being
over
there.
there, Van? That's where the red panda sleeps.
Yeah.
He's in there right now.
Yeah.
Imagine how cool he'd look.
And those red pandas, dude. Here, let me read you the sign that they even have for the red pandas. I put this on Twitter last night.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah.
So for the for the red pandas, let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Here's the sign out in front of their display. And by the way, I didn't see a single red panda, so it explains where they're at.
Yeah.
The red pandas have access to their off-exhibit yard due to weather or temperatures. They may choose to be on or off exhibit as they desire. Well, aren't they a bunch of divas?
Yeah. Did you just picture them sitting in a break room I'm just not feeling it today.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the major ones, polar bears,
Sure.
the big apes, the freaking what are they called? The tigers, lions, all those guys were either asleep and jammed into a corner or hidden under something.
Now, do you have indoor exhibits though too, right? Like reptiles and
Oh yeah, we did all that as
an
well.
aviary and stuff like that. Those guys, because they're in a protected area, they're always out and about. Well, as out and about as reptiles get. It's usually like looking in a glass container and that leaf right there I think is a lizard. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, you go in there and you play Where's Waldo for 20 minutes inside
Yeah.
of the lizardtorium or whatever it's called.
Right.
But there was some cool stuff in there. We got a gigantic python in that place that's been there for years, and that's fun
Is
to
he
see.
reticulated?
I think so. I think it said on the thing a reticulated
Yeah.
python.
A reticulated python, sure.
Yeah, he looked a little rough because I think he's about to shed.
100 points of reticulation is what he's got.
They don't make action figures like they used to. Brian. But it was
Zoos
fun.
maybe they should implement. How do you do this? Let's say you're a zoo guy and you're like, oh yeah, we get so many people complaining about the zoo in the summer because everyone's asleep. Maybe what we need to do is only charge the equivalent of how many animals are out and about. So we've only got 16 animals that you're actually able to see, so we're only going to charge you $8 to come in today. But Oh, now all the animals are out. You're going to see all of them. It's $40 to see the zoo today.
Where do I sign
Sliding-
your
sliding scale.
what
Yeah.
do they call that? Sign your petition. Give me your petition, I'll sign it. Because at the
Now,
end
this
of it
might
all,
mean that when all the animals are out, you're paying more. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Because
that's
there's,
fine.
has to be a trade-off.
yeah. Plus, I got excited because, as everyone knows, this was my 50th birthday last week. So I thought, hey, does the zoo do like any kind of, we get into AARP territory here?
Your senior,
Yeah.
like a senior ticket price? I
Yeah.
don't think you're old enough for the senior ticket price, Scott.
I wasn't. I got to the thing and I looked up there, and you have to be 65.
65.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's just like
exactly.
saying, hey, if you're not quite dead yet, come on in here. We'll give you a
Right.
discount. And if you're not
No,
dead
but
yet, you
you-
will be from the heat. So enjoy.
You are old enough to get AARP magazine, though. I think you
Oh
can get
my
that at
gosh.
50.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
I don't want
That's
that.
what the commercials say. The commercial shows these two youngish people talking. Well, I thought AARP magazine was just for, old people. No, you can get that starting at age 50, and clearly neither of these two people are 50.
Yeah, but what's in there that I want? What could be in
Discount
there?
coupons. Maybe they have discount coupons for the zoo for those 50 to 64.
Maybe they do. I didn't think of that. Maybe the local.
They also have 5 easy no-cook soup recipes.
Great.
I'm in the mood for soup, but I don't want to cook it.
want to cook it. How do you do no cook soup?
Help make streets safer.
Okay.
What? Laura Linney, What I Know Now. Annie Potts' favorite snack recipes. Daily exercises you can do in 10 minutes for better balance. Yeah, none of these, you're not seeing these articles in Ranger, Rick, that's for sure.
No. I don't like
Flower power, make your arrangements come alive.
it. No. No thanks.
Interview with a prostate, the misunderstood gland.
Stop. That's not real. That isn't
That is
real.
my favorite Anne Rice book.
That's
Interview with a prostate.
That isn't what it really says, is it? Does it say an interview with a prostate?
100%. Here, I'll send you a link
Okay.
to the AARP.org
That's terrible.
article. Here you go. Enjoy learning about the misunderstood gland, the prostate.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, interview with a prostate. Look, there's a lady. Oh,
Farkas's TV VCR repair. It did sound like I was going through the Sally Struthers list of job opportunities.
yeah, that's what it sounded like. Here's one of the questions. I will read one to you.
Oh my God, this really is an interview with a prostate.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Here's one of the questions. AARP says, "What? So you're swelling?" JP, which is the prostate.
Joe's prostate.
Joe's
yeah.
prostate says, "No, swelling is what happens to Joe's ankle when he injures it playing softball. I ain't injured. I'm enlarged. That said, prostates have been known to swell up sometimes because of an infection.
Wow.
That's called
Joe's prostate
prostatitis.
is kind of a street talker.
It is. It says, but it's less common than standard enlargement for older guys like Joe. Wow, Joe. Keep on playing softball, Joe.
Let's do like a minute of this interview. Do you want to be AARP or do you want to be the prostate?
I'll be the
Answering
prostate.
All right, okay, ARP. So that's
Okay.
me. Tell us about yourself.
Oh my gosh.
First
Okay, here it
question.
is. Hi, I'm Joe's prostate. I'm a prostate, and I live alone, just in front of Joe's scrotum. Oh, sorry, rectum.
Rectum, damn near scrotum.
I didn't mean that to come out. It
There's
just,
our show title.
yeah. Then I say, what's to know? I'm very street. Yeah, I got to be more street. Okay, so
Totally street.
give me another
It's
one.
almost, can you do this in a Joe Pesci?
Yeah, I don't know.
Prostate, and I live alone, just in front of Joe's rectum. What's to know?
What's to know? Who's asking?
Well, let's start with the basics. How old are you and what do you do?
I'm 68, same as Joe. I hate this. I hate it.
Oh,
How is this a thing?
This is great.
Did they have other interviews with people's body parts?
Yeah, this is Joe's pancreas.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I just hang out here in his chest. Yeah.
Oh, they have a
his
lot
body
of
cavity.
sections.
They really do. A lot of interviews. Anyway, you
I'll-
can get this magazine now for free if you want to read it in your favorite recliner.
Tell me more about Annie Potts and her soup. Oh wait, she wasn't the soup one. What was her deal? What was Annie Potts saying?
Annie Potts, well, she was a designing woman, wasn't she?
Right, but what's her thing in ARP is like 4 things I wish I knew about Egon before I dated him.
No, she had good summer recipes or favorite snack recipes was Annie Potts. It was Laura Linney.
Oh,
What
right.
I know now.
Yeah, what I know now about my enormous eyes. All right, moving on.
More stuff like Truman Show, less stuff like
nude things. Hey, how did your makeup ride go? Did you do it?
I did it. Yeah. So yesterday morning, as soon as it hit about 64, 65 degrees, hopped on the bike and mapped out the whole thing. So this is really cool. Google Maps actually lets you search, or you basically say, I'm going from here to here, like you normally do with car directions. If you choose bike, it actually figures out the best way for you to go with streets that have bike lanes or on bike paths. So it plots out the whole thing. So it had this route that took me straight through Denver, from the northwest down to the central southeast, or central east, or central east, south central.
Central East.
Central East.
Yeah.
And was a 35-mile ride that I did in, I guess, about 2 hours, two and a half hours.
Is that about the normal time for
About the norm, about 10 to 12 miles an hour.
Okay.
Let's see, where is it here? Here we go. Average of 13.1 miles per hour. Yeah, 2 hours, 35 minutes of moving time. In other words, like when I stopped and met Tina. Tina actually was great. 3 places along the way, she stopped to meet me with snacks.
Nice.
And refill my Gatorade, refill my water bottle.
What was your
Stuff like
snack?
that.
What was your snack options on this trip? What'd you get?
I made yesterday morning. I took a Nilla wafer. I put some mixed powdered the Weight Watchers peanut butter on it. The stuff that you mix with water. Basically, it's like powder you mix with water to make peanut butter. And then a slice of banana on each one.
Yummy.
And those are great. They're so dang good. So I had about 4 or 5 of those. And my gosh, T Banjo's just going nuts in the chat room. I'm sorry he's distracting me, but I'm guessing he's meaning my camera's too light. Let's uncamera file myself. Or
I don't know what he's talking about.
anyway, so had a couple of those. Had a little quarter of a bagel with some peanut butter on it, and that sort of thing. But here's the deal. So the 75 miles that I do for the MS-150 on each of the days, it's unknown territory to me, right? So it's like, I do it. I don't really even think about it. I know that it's a long drive when I'm going from Broomfield up to Fort Collins, but I don't really think about it. But having lived in Colorado all my life and then in the Denver area, the thought of driving from Arvada down to Highlands Ranch is just it's an internal thing. That's like, oh my God, that ride takes so long. It's such a long drive.
It seems like a long drive.
It is. And so in my head I'm thinking, and you got to like triple that or quadruple it or quintuple it for riding a bike, because you're going, like you said, 13 miles an hour. On the highway you can go 65 or more here. So you think as fast as I get there in a car, it's going to take me 5 times the amount of time to get down there riding a bike.
Sure.
Getting down there, I'm amazed that I got down there in 2.5 hours. I actually would have said, oh, that's going to be a 3.5 hour ride easily. And it probably was a little bit closer to 3 hours with the few minute stops everywhere.
You must be in better bike shape, probably, or something.
I think so. I'm in better bike shape than I thought, and it was a beautiful ride. It was like, so much of it was on this green belt that goes along the Platte River, and it's all been redone. There are bridges that cross over all, in a few different places, and you can look down the Platte and see big trees and bushes and greenery growing on either side. It's just a beautiful time of year to go. They've got areas where they've arranged the rocks to make these forced smooth ramps for the water to come down, and it just comes pouring down, but it's all smooth, like it's going down a luge. And there are guys out there with surfboards, little mini boogie boards, who are surfing on it, like stationary surfing on the river as it's coming down towards them. It's so cool.
That is cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
it was a blast. It was really.
So you can mark it off your thing. You can tell you made good. you can sleep at night knowing that you fulfilled your thing. Well done.
Exactly. I can now proudly wear that medal that I earned for the MS-150.
All right, some quick thanks I got to give out to some people, and then we're going to call Dunaway.
Sure.
Oh, you know what I ought to do before I do that? I probably ought to run that. Okay. I got a birthday gift from somebody who says, "Happy birthday, nerd. On the bright side, you're probably younger than some newly forming Pacific volcano, so you got that going for you. Be sure to take out your teeth when you eat these. Love, Carrie." Well, that's right. Carrie sent me a giant box full of lemon Pez, as is the tradition with Carrie. So, Carrie, coffee please, a.k.a. Cleo. Thank you very, very much. I came home to that yesterday. Not only that, they were in the mailbox, and we hadn't gotten the mail because we were out of town. Hot. Like, I'm surprised the whole thing hadn't just melted into a giant brick.
Hot lemon Pez.
Yeah, hot lemon Pez. And I actually ate some lemon Pez while it was hot, and it was fantastic. I'm a huge sucker for lemon Pez, so thank you, Carrie. And then...
pun intended, huge
yes.
sucker for lemon Pez.
Also, somebody sent me a Cocoa Puffs branded... what are these called? Sorry, Hot Wheels car. See this?
Oh, that's funny.
Who sent us
I
these?
sent you another Hot Wheels card. Did you get that one? It might still be in a box.
Maybe.
Or in a package.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This wasn't you though.
It was themed. No, that one was not me. But it was themed with the rest of the presents I gave you. It was actually the first of the things that I was sending you.
Yeah.
And then I realized, God, I'd be a real cheapskate if this was the only thing I sent you.
Dude, you could have sent me last month's toenail clippings, and I would have still been happy because you don't have to send me anything.
Spoiler alert: you haven't received everything yet.
Oh, nope.
There's a little Ziploc bag coming.
Great. But
don't eat those, no matter how much they look like.
I don't know who sent this, but thanks for this. And then I'll go look for Brian's because I didn't know he sent me a Hot Wheels car. But how cool is that little Cocoa Puffs
that is super
thing?
Cool.
It's like a what do you call it? What's a thing you put a hearse? It's like a hearse.
Is it really a hearse?
I think so.
That's
I don't know
a
what
weird
this is.
thing for like Sunny the cuckoo bird. What is he? What kind of bird is Sunny the Cocoa Puffs bird? This isn't a cheetah moment. I don't know what kind of bird he is.
Yeah, what kind of bird is he? He's not a. I don't know what is he.
He is that is Sunny, right?
Yeah, Sunny the Cocoa Puffs bird. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Brian. That's what I understand about him.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a '57 Buick, not a hearse. I apologize.
Okay.
But it looks like a hearse. It's got a big back end on it. This will not surprise you, or maybe it will. You can get a Frankenberry van.
He really is a cuckoo. Okay, he's cuckoo.
Oh, he's a
Cocoa
cuckoo.
Puffs.
Okay.
It kind of maybe is a little bit of a Chester Cheetah moment there.
All right.
Then. He just doesn't look like a cuckoo bird.
No, he doesn't. They have a Frankenberry van, a Count Chocula Chevrolet wagon. They have a Trix. I don't know what that is. Some kind of delivery van for Trix. There's a Wheaties van, a Lucky Charms semi.
Lucky Charms semi.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cars.
That's what happens when I when I go to the strip club in the Fairy Kingdom. I get a Lucky Charms semi.
Well, anyway, I'm going to collect them all, I'm sure, at some point. And then somebody sent me, where is it? Oh, here we go. Todd Filligim. He says, here are the water beads that DJI is likely shipping with their tanks. They are perfectly fun for kids of all ages. It's one of those. Have you seen the water beads, Brian?
I've not seen the water beads.
It's basically these tiny, tiny little. They look like little. I don't know what they look like. Plastic balls almost, but they're not plastic. And they're all these different colors, and they come in this bag. And if you put them in the water,
puff up in water?
Yeah, they puff up, and you can use them to like bean each other and throw at each other, like in water fights and stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently DJI has a drone thing that fires these, so they have like fighting ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway, so he sent me like, I don't know, 1,000 of these, and it was super nice. So thanks, Dan.
That's very cool. Do you have the drone to go with it though?
No.
You just have to manually. You're going to manually bean each other.
I'm
with
going to
them.
be, yeah. There's no. I'm going to live in a very low tech water ball fight. That's how that's going to
Nice.
be. All right, that's it for that. Thanks everybody for your kindness and your thoughts and all that sort of stuff. It's very, very nice to see and have and do.
Very
all right,
cool.
we're going to call Brian Dunaway. How do we do that? We go here and then
With a telephone.
yeah.
Not with a telephone.
And he's green. That usually means he's good. Green is good.
Green is good.
And looks like we've got Brian Dunaway. You there?
Oh, hi, Scott.
Oh my gosh, he's there.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Check it out. Brian Dunaway. How was your weekend? And what are you doing? How's life? How are you feeling there, buddy boy?
Life's going good, Scott.
Oh, that's
Life's
fantastic.
going good.
That makes me happy. Hey, it's
Look at that life.
I feel like we haven't talked to you in a while because you weren't here last Wednesday.
Yeah, we did. Well,
Yeah,
pleasantly-
there was some miscommunication. So yeah, wasn't here.
You were stuck in a meeting or some such, right? Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah, we were supposed to have. Well, they had called a last-minute meeting on Monday, and then at the last minute they canceled it. And then I sent a message to the follow-up saying, "Hey, they moved it to Wednesday.
Oh.
Lucky us." But I don't think anybody read my follow-up. So then Wednesday I get it.
Oh no,
I'm in
we
the
knew that
meeting.
Wednesday because Brian
read it.
knew, right? Or something.
Yeah, we read it, but we saw it too late to do anything about it.
Oh, that's what it was.
Too late.
Yeah, too late.
Too late.
Getting a little bit of crickly crackly on the voice.
Oh, that's no good. We don't want that. Let's see if I can fix that for you. Hold on, because it's probably gone now, right?
Say something.
Saying some words that aren't crackly, probably.
Yes, no crackly.
All right, I think I know what that
Less
is.
crackly.
Let me try this again. This is going to be a little bit weird. Here we go. All right. We had a caller, but I had to hang up on him. Yeah. He's still not here. I'm not crackly, right? We're good?
Nice.
Still good. Still crackle free.
All right. Somebody call in now. 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462 if you'd like to be part of today's jackassery. There's stuff to win. That's the main thing. You
There
can
are
win.
prizes. Yes.
Yeah, and that'll be good. 801-471-0462. All right, while we wait for that, real quick here. Brian Dunaway, later today, there'll be the Boop Show, and you'd think to yourself, wait, Scott, didn't you go out of town for a few days? And the answer is, yes, I did. And then you'd say, well, have you played any video games to even talk about on the Boop Show? And I'd say,
And
yeah.
you're like, shut up, leave me alone. Why are you so nosy?
I'd say yes. I'd say it's a great time to talk about it because not only did I play a few while I was gone because I took some stuff with me, but I played a crap ton last night. And by crap ton, I mean I tried like 4 or 5 different video games last night because I got a bunch of codes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So plenty to talk
Hey,
about.
let me tell you something about the Boop Show. The
Yeah.
Boop Show is a general gaming podcast where me and Scott mostly talk about indie games, but we're also about the gamer's life. And you know what? Gamer's life, sometimes you travel, and you have to squeeze it in.
Yeah. Like a I can't
Like
think of-
a cantaloupe and a I don't know. I'm always squeezing cantaloupes and stuff. That's all I know.
That's right.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
All right.
801
You ever leave a cantaloupe in the refrigerator too long?
Yes.
That's not a good
It's
time.
not good at all. It turns into it smells like really strong hairspray after a while.
Yeah. Then you try to pick it up and it's like,
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's bad. I don't recommend it. In fact,
No, but if you leave them on the counter, you have to keep moving them around. You don't want them to sit in one space on one side for too long, so you just have to rotate them, roll them down your counter, basically.
that's right. We did a meal where we made food for one of the nights we were in the place because they had like barbecue and all that, and we had watermelon that when you cut it, it was kind of a smaller watermelon, some kind of local thing, and when you cut it, the slices looked like they had little Diablo heads in it, and that was the only
Like the
part that was
seeds?
good. No, just the inside
Oh.
of it had like a pattern.
Oh, really?
And they were
weird.
they were the only part of that I liked, which I thought was odd. The rest of the watermelon was kind of chewy and weird, and we had to throw most of it
So
out.
people are saying that the phone thing is going directly to voicemail.
Only for some, because we have someone on the line right now. Hi, who's this?
Oh, okay.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
oh, they made a liar out of you,
Yeah,
Scott.
if-
Unmute.
If Soupy,
Maybe.
are you muted? Unmute if you're muted. All right, we'll try another one. Let's see, put that back on. Oh, hello? Oh, that was somebody. That was Brian.
that was Dunaway.
Try again, whoever that was. You didn't come through. I don't know why they'd be muted. It'd be their phone number. But anyway, let's try it again. 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462.
If you do not call, we're going to keep talking about the proper storage of fruits and vegetables.
How often you have to roll your watermelon?
That's
Exactly.
right. Let's give this one a shot. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this? Oh, why is that ringing? Okay. Hello? Oh, wait, it has to get to the 10 seconds. Okay, how about now? Hi, who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Hello.
Hi, this is Megan Sluck.
Well, hello, Megan. How are you?
Hello, Megan.
Well, let me just say, my husband and I have been trying to call since you guys said this because we realized the phone was not working.
Oh, well, all right.
So we got the message. I think I was the one on hold the first time, and you said oops and hung up.
Yeah, something was janky on our side.
Was
We
it
had to
cracking?
reboot
Yeah,
it.
okay. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know your phone wasn't working.
Yeah. Well, it's working now. Here you are, Megan. Welcome to the show. Brian, you want to explain to Megan how this all works?
I will. Megan, where are you calling from, by the way?
Well, originally we're from California. I actually called him before from Evergreen. My husband is Flucko in the chat. I'm Mrs. Flucko. And we just recently relocated to Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Like, cross the whole country for...
Yeah.
We pretty much, my father and I both lived in 7 states, but 2 states are different for each of us.
Wow.
And now my husband, I believe, lived in 5?
Did y'all live in Louisiana for a while?
No.
Oh, good. Well, you're fine then. Everything will be fine.
Well, Evergreen is nice too. So that's you've lived in some great places.
Sure.
All right. So here's what's going to happen, Megan. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth with answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. Your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on today's topic. Today, you are playing for a prize package from Scott, which includes a Mad Max unboxed figurine as well as stickers, little art collection stuff, bunch of art. You're gonna get art.
Yeah, all
Is
that.
what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But before they can start, I need to give everybody the topic. Now, this last weekend, in addition to my big ride on Saturday, I competed in a trivia tournament, the semifinals for the Trivia Face-Off tournament. So basically,
Face off.
So the entire month of June, we had to qualify by getting a certain number of scores and certain number of nights. Basically, we had to play a lot to qualify. We qualified, we played in this thing, and we won. One of our questions, actually, our final question was made up of a bunch of different lists that we had to come up with. One of those lists is the question that I'm going to give to you right now. In the movie Coneheads, both familiar with the movie Coneheads?
Yes,
Great.
I love
Yes,
it's
it's
my-
on Pluto TV, and I watched it just the other day.
It's my
Oh,
favorite.
man.
It's my favorite of the SNL movie adaptations. I love it. I love that
Well,
movie.
I'm going to tell you the Blues Brothers is still better, but I will tell you Coneheads is good.
It holds up.
Yeah.
It does hold up. Coneheads features 14 actors and actresses who were also not ready for primetime players, who are regular cast members for at least one season on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
I want to know how many of these ex-SNLers you can name.
Ooh.
There are 14 to choose from.
SNLer.
All right.
Ex-SNLers.
I'm in.
Megan, knowing that these guys both love and have recently watched Coneheads, who do you think is going to do better?
Brian.
All right, so Brian is going to win, and who do you want to go
I'm
first?
sorry, Scott. I've been watching the show too long to...
It's fine. Hey, look,
Unless it's DC, I go with Brian.
that's totally fine.
DC, I go with Scott.
Who should?
I know.
That's all right. Who should start?
I'm also going to start with Brian because I think that trips
What?
you up, Scott.
All right, Brian, go
All
for
right.
it. What do you got?
Wow.
Again.
Wow. Hey, how about Dan Aykroyd?
He's a really good choice since he is Beldar Conehead
Beldar.
from France. Yeah, kind of the top build on this thing, if you will. And we're off to the races. Scott.
Jane Curtin. May as well get her out of the way.
Might as well. Primat, his lovely wife. Second build and reprising their roles from the original show.
So isn't was there ever they talked about doing a 2? Did they ever do a 2?
No, two
Not to
never
my
happened.
knowledge. No, not to my knowledge.
It's
There was an
unfortunate.
animated thing, but
Yeah,
but
it's
I think that actually even came before this.
yeah, it's unfortunate because I think that thing was great. It's underrated. Let's put it that way.
Right. I'm gonna go with the Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, the late great Phil Hartman. Yes, he was Marlax in this film.
Marlax.
And,
Oh, my brain just farted. Chris Farley is in this. He's like the
Chris
boyfriend.
Farley, I think he's the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's right. I
their
forgot.
daughter.
Yes. Chris
Ronnie
Farley.
Bradford.
Mhm.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, two in a row there we've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
I'm
me
kidding.
sad.
Mhm.
Two of the best.
Mm.
I believe there was a young Adam Sandler in there that I saw.
There was playing a guy named Carmine Weiner. Adam Sandler. And now we can't get him out of movies.
No. Let's say I think Jan Hooks was in there.
Oh, very good pick. Yes, Jan Hooks is Gladys Johnson. No wonder you remember. She was
some kind of
what was
driving
her-
thing. Like he had to some driving teacher or something to do with driving at the school, or I can't remember what it was. Something with the
might have
daughter.
been, yeah.
I don't remember.
She was one of, what was her big SNL thing was she was one of the Lounge Singer sisters, right? The Sweeney sisters, was that their name?
I think so. She was there. She was there big time during the Hartman days.
Yeah.
One of the main female cast members. She was great.
She's great. All right, continue.
Continue.
Continue, Brian.
Was this before or after Chris Farley and David Spade? It must have been right before because David Spade was in there as well.
He is in there.
Boneheads.
Yeah, let's see. That's a good
They had
question.
was that before Black Sheep? That was definitely
Tommy Boy
before
and-
Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and that little run.
I think
Black
you're
Sheep
right,
sucks. Tommy Boy's great. Black Sheep is terrible.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy.
David Spade played INS agent Eli Turnbull.
Nice.
Right.
Let's put Brian DeSalm in concert. Kevin Nealon, I believe, is in
Oh,
this.
great. I certainly did.
that was my next one.
Yeah.
That was
The great
mine.
Kevin Nealon, Subliminal Man. Kevin Nealon played the senator.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're getting kind of
Mm-hmm.
into the
Into the
woods.
nitty gritty, as they say.
Right. And I
And it's a matter of remembering not only who was in this thing, but whether or not they were ever like a series
right,
regular.
right,
So,
right,
yeah.
right. See, I think you said. I was so busy looking in my own mind that I forgot to listen to what Scott was saying, and I almost think he said one right that I'm wanting to say, and I'm afraid I'm gonna say it. Did you? Should have listened better. Should have listened better. Was John Lovitz was in there?
John Lovitz.
I remember
and
John Lovitz in there.
uncredited as the dentist, Dr.
Why
Rudolph.
was he uncredited?
I don't know. He just
He just
didn't want to be credited.
Yeah, see?
Weird.
They should never.
Don't put my name on there. Don't do it.
He should never go uncredited. That guy's a national treasure. When he's on screen, he's kind of
Acting.
apparently kind of a butthole in person, but he's a really great dude on screen.
It's weird to think of him being a butthole, right? Because
Yeah.
like he's not. He doesn't seem like he should be able to be a cocky, like I'm John Lovitz.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with the evil dude in this. Our villain was Michael McKean.
Michael McKean, very good. And a lot of
Michael
people
McKean.
forget that he was a member of Saturday Night Live. Not only a cast member, he was also a host of Saturday Night Live before he joined the cast, and a musical guest of Saturday Night Live.
It's crazy. His whole involvement there is nuts to me. It's very weird.
It is.
Yeah.
At the time, by the way, that he joined Saturday Night Live, he was the oldest person ever to join, to be hired for Saturday Night Live. Yeah. But Leslie Jones actually surpassed him. So he was 46 when he joined the cast. Leslie Jones, when she joined in 2014, was 47.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She doesn't strike me as that old.
Yep.
That's cool. How old was
Yeah, I know.
How old was Randy Quaid when he was on there?
Oh, that's a really good question. Let's see here.
Got to be
'Cause
younger.
Randy Quaid had to be. I guess he's just older now, but
He was probably 30s
Randy
at the time.
Quaid. So he was born in 1950. He joined SNL in 1985. So he was 35 when he
What?
joined SNL.
That's crazy sounding.
It's just hard to think of him as young.
Yeah.
Oh, young Randy Quaid.
Babyface Randy Quaid. Hard to imagine him any other way.
Michael McKean, INS Deputy Commissioner Gorman Seedling.
All right, Brian. It's on you, buddy.
All right. Pretty sure you didn't say Tim Meadows, but I always love Tim Meadows.
Is Tim Meadows on there?
Tim Meadows. Tim
Yeah,
Meadows
he's in-
appears in every single
Everything.
Saturday Night Live related movie.
He's so good.
And he was
he's
also
so
on
funny.
Saturday Night Live for I think 48 years.
He had to be, and I've enjoyed his Goldberg's appearances and
Yes.
his voice work he does on Bob's Burgers.
He's
doing
great.
something.
No, Tim Meadows is awesome, and he is in this. He plays Athletic Cone, kind of keeping with his school-related work on the Goldbergs. Yeah, Tim Meadows is great, and he is absolutely in this.
Ooh, we're getting slim pickings here.
Yes, we are.
Slim Pickens wasn't in there.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are only 3 people you have not named yet.
Wow.
All right,
Yes.
probably have a memory of Julia Sweeney in this.
Oh, well done. I think she was the other. Was she the other Sweeney sister in the Jan Hooks thing? No, I think it's just because of her name. She was Pat, probably.
Pat,
best remembered as Pat.
Yeah.
Julia Sweeney. She's the principal of the school.
Oh,
Interesting.
I couldn't remember what
And,
she did, but yeah, she was in there.
Julia Sweeney.
All right.
All
I
right.
would say suffered. She may have had breast cancer a few years ago.
There was
and
something. She had
survived it.
something gnarly. Yeah.
Some health issue, gnarly health issue.
Can't remember what it was. Maybe breast
Well,
cancer.
since you so easily threw out the Jan Hooks, I'm assuming that must have been the one Scott said because I wasn't sure about before.
Well, you don't. Are you asking?
Yes,
Are you
he did say. He did
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, no.
I wouldn't have. I would not have
wouldn't
mentioned.
You wouldn't have said it otherwise. So that
right.
answered my
Oh.
question. However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. There's 2 actors. I know one was in a lot of SNL things, but I don't know if he was never part of it. God, I can't remember.
That's not a hint as to who does that bit.
Was Eddie Griffin early on? Eddie Griffin. I'm gonna do Eddie Griffin. He was early on SNL, was he not? Am I remembering that incorrectly?
His answer is Eddie Griffin, Brian.
His answer is Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin does appear in Coneheads. However, never
SNL.
a member of SNL.
Dang it! all I had left was him and Sinbad, and I'm pretty sure Sinbad never
Yeah,
did
so there are only
anything on SNL.
two people that you guys didn't name, both of whom were in the original sketch. Lorraine Newman originally played the daughter of Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd. She did not play the daughter in the new one. That was Michelle Burke, who played Connie in the film.
Yeah.
But she
Oh,
Lorraine
that-
Newman appeared as Larta in the film.
Right.
Yeah.
And Garrett Morris.
Oh, Garrett Morris, dude.
Garrett Morris.
I love that guy.
As Captain Oarcruiser.
The most
Baseball been very good to me.
very underrated original cast member, Garrett Morris.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Also had a really good like sitcom career after.
He still does. Still has shows he does. He's
Yeah.
on something now my wife likes a lot. I couldn't tell you what it is. There's some show where he's the greeter at a restaurant.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's got that Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. The girl who plays Nora, I don't know her
Yeah.
name.
Oh, really? Okay.
She's in it. It's a funny little sitcom. Anyway, she really likes it, and Garrett Morris is the guy at the front desk.
Is
Can't
that
remind him.
called?
So
Let's
Two
see,
Broke
Night
Girls?
Squad Scandal.
Oh, Two Broke Girls. Yeah, it's
Two
Kat
Broke
Dennings.
Girls, okay.
Yeah, Kat Dennings is in that.
Oh, Kat Dennings. Right. From the Thor
Now,
movies.
remind me, and I could be wrong about this. I have a weird memory that Drew Carey was in.
Drew Carey absolutely is in it. as
He's
a
not
passenger of a
SNL,
taxi.
obviously, but
definitely
No.
never did SNL.
Yeah.
Michael Richards and Jason Alexander both appear in
Yeah.
in Coneheads. So
Weird,
you get
really?
half of Seinfeld.
No way. I don't
Tom
remember that.
Arnold is a golfer. Peter Aykroyd, Dan's son,
Yeah.
is High Master Mentot. Parker Posey, Joey Lauren Adams, Dave Thomas from SCTV. I mean, it's a pretty impressive. Oh, Sinbad.
Sinbad.
It's a really impressive
Yeah.
cast list for a not very well received, critically well received.
Critically, you can ignore that.
Yeah,
Coneheads is a classic. It is. I don't know how it's not been rebooted.
I completely agree, and it shouldn't be good. Like, I'm not saying it's inherently good. I'm saying somehow they pulled it off. Like, it's
Yeah.
I have more fun with that watching that than I do any
It's
other
good in
SNL
spite of
inspired
itself,
thing.
basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a weird thing.
It is streaming on Prime, by the way. So if you're like me and haven't seen it in forever, then go watch it on Amazon Prime.
Also streaming on Pluto TV if you do not have the Prime.
There you go. That's
Megan,
a
all I
good
would say is
alternative.
that your faith was misplaced this fine day. We wish you luck in the future. Well done.
Hey, that was a hard choice because me and you both are huge SNL fans, and we've confessed our Coneheads love before too. So that was going to be tough either way.
Yeah, I don't. Who submitted that one, Brian? Whose is that? Is
That
it
was
Brian
me.
Oh, that was you.
me because it was a question. So here was the deal. On Saturday, we actually we had such a good lead going into the final. The way they had it set up is we had these 4 lists. We had to name all the songs on the Jock Jams 1 CD. We had to name the second most populous city in 5 or 6 different countries. We had to name the 5 TV shows with the longest or with the most number of Emmys. And then we had to name any 8 of the 14 SNL regulars who were in the movie Coneheads. We had enough of a lead that we put the ones we were sure about, which was Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, and did not gamble on any of the rest. Yeah. And we still won with a pretty good lead.
Nice. Well, go watch Coneheads, everybody. You have no excuse.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Let us be done. Hey, Dunaway, I'll see you at 3:30 for this Boop show we were describing earlier.
We should totally do that.
I think so, too. It's going to be great. May the wind be at your back and F off. All right, he's gone. All right, that's the end of that. And there's no time for news.
All right.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, Stephen H. Schleicher of the beautiful website Major Spoilers will be here to talk to us about all things that happened at that Marvel reveal at Comic-Con.
Yes.
Lots of good stuff to talk about
so
there.
Excited, Scott.
Me as well. There's some good stuff in there. Plus, Daryl will be here with a lot of stuff we learned about Star Trek at the self-same Comic-Con. So lots to discuss with those guys. That's coming right up. Before that, a song from Brian. Would you please introduce it?
Yes, let's go to LA for this one, for a band that I think we've played before on TMS Indie in the Middle. They have a brand new album coming out that is called Living Mirage. Actually, it just came out. But this is kind of a brand new single released from that album. These guys are going on a 38-city tour. So if you like this, chances are you can go see them in concert. They're going everywhere from Arizona, California, Indianapolis, to Madison, Wisconsin, to Georgia, to Washington, D.C., Brooklyn, coming through Denver here. I mean, these guys are playing everywhere. The band is called The Head and the Heart. Their brand new single is called Missed Connection. Right now it has the #1 position on the alternative radio chart, and when they were here in Colorado, they sold out 2 shows at Red Rocks.
Nice.
Check them out. The Head and the Heart. This is from their brand new album Living Mirage. The song is the title track, Missed Connection.
Now, Ham's crisp refreshment comes to you in a handy new no deposit, no return glass bottle. So compact, it fits any refrigerator shelf. Yet, it contains a full bottle of beer.
Your contact lenses just arrived.
Her name is the Morning Stream, and she dances on the sand.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
I feel good about my
camera off and on.
I feel good about my performance there today.
Do you know?
Yeah,
Do you?
I do.
You did great.
Yeah, I feel like I.
Jan Hooks was one I was not expecting. Like Jan Hooks, Julia Sweeney, great pulls for. I mean, that was our heyday of SNL, right?
It
I mean,
was
Phil
those
Hartman,
that
Jan
entire
Hooks, Julia
cast,
Sweeney.
exactly. Like Phil Hartman,
Spade, Farley,
all of it. That whole run from like 85 through probably 95, like a 10-year
except for Melanie
span.
Hutzel.
I don't remember her at all. What was,
Exactly.
what was her deal? Was she any good? I don't remember.
She was. I think the big thing for her was the Delta. Can I help you?
Oh
when
my
she
gosh.
like the sorority sorority thing.
It's kind of a vaudeville sort of sounding thing. Doesn't sound great.
Kind of. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Well, that's okay, because now joining us on the program will be this fella right here, if I can find his starting deal. Stephen Schleicher, all the way from Majorspoilers.com. Welcome back. How are you?
Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Ooh, hello. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but last week there was an enormous convention held in San Diego, California.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It goes by the name Comic Con. It's short for Comic Convention. And they've been there for, I don't know, 60 years or something, whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
50 years. This was the 50th anniversary of the show.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh,
Let me,
I share.
I'm actually just a moment there, Scott.
Yeah.
It's called the Comic-Con International, San Diego.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But they, I didn't know I shared my birthday with them. That's crazy. I didn't know it was the 50th. That's insane. All right. Well, hey, they had a thing. There was all the stuff, and everyone's used to all that, except Marvel gets the stage. They get to do some Hall H, and they kind of dominated, as one might expect they would. But they got up there with a whole lot of people, including former cast members of various MCU films, new projects to announce, all sorts of stuff. We should probably try to break this down in the most semi-organized way as possible. So, Steven, if you had your way, how would you start with what we got from Marvel?
Well, one thing I would say is if you haven't realized you're going to need a Disney Plus service, you probably need to start saving up that money now so you can get Disney Plus, because a large part of what's going on in Phase 4 or the next phase of Marvel Studios is going to be over on Disney Plus, the streaming media service that launches sometime in the near future.
Yeah, this fall.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they announced a number. I mean, the presentation that they gave was really weird because they said, here are 10 things we're going to announce, and here's this timeline for when things are coming. And then they jumped all around that timeline, bouncing back and forth between movie properties and Disney Plus properties and things that are, the thing that's coming out first from Marvel Studios is actually the last announcement that they made. It's really crazy. So here's what we know is coming to the Disney Plus streaming service. We know that, and we'll do these in order, starting in the fall of 2020, it's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
That will, a lot of these projects also have kind of already been announced, and so it shouldn't come as a big surprise there. Also coming then in the spring of 2021 is WandaVision, with the Scarlet Witch and the Vision doing some stuff.
Can you explain that to me? Is that a comic thing, or is it just them saying, hey, what if Wanda and the Vision hung out? Yeah, I can't stand the name.
I think is just their own thing.
It's dumb. I don't like it. It's a dumb name.
I agree because it sounds like Wanda Maximoff decides that she's going to leave the superhero business and start her own cable channel, and it's going to be called WandaVision.
Yeah,
the one thing that they did say is that this is very, very, very weird. Yeah. The show itself is going to be very weird. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that.
What do they mean by weird? Like weirder than just, it's got to be weirder than, hey, Wanda's a Scarlet Witch and this guy's a robot. It's got to be weirder than that, right?
Well, especially when you consider, for all the people that are going to get upset about spoilers, especially when you know what happens to the Vision.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can talk about the Vision. I think it's been 2 years.
I don't know. I mean, people still get angry every time I bring up that crappy Star Trek movie.
Listen. Vision dies. Thanos snaps Vision out of existence by taking the what was it? The power gem out of his forehead.
Not snaps him out of existence.
He
like yanks his whole head apart.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Right. It's a gnarly loss of a character, but yeah, everybody should know that thing by now, I would hope.
Also coming in the spring of 2021, it's the Loki series. Now, this one's also a little bit weird. Again, you have to have seen the Avengers movies to know what's going on, especially in game, because this isn't going to feature the Loki that we saw. Time travel, ladies and gentlemen. Loki's going to be in this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's going to be jumping around time and doing different things. And what I really kind of hope is that he gets to, what would be great is to see various incarnations of Loki. Loki as a horse, Loki as a, as a woman, Loki as a whatever.
And that's kind of the logo is an amalgamation of a bunch of different fonts. It's just 4 letters, but it's 4 different fonts, which kind of makes you think, they are going to do that, like have some sort of weird multiple kind of appearance by Loki. And it's Tom Hiddleston, so it's
so they could do all sorts of things. Someone in the chat says female Loki. Oh man, go read your Norse mythology. I would highly recommend is Neil Gaiman's interpretation of the Norse mythology, where he's taking all these tales of Norse mythology that he's heard before, and he's telling what he remembers from it. So it's his own take on the Norse gods. And I believe it's called Norse Gods, I think is the title of the book. It's really, really good and fascinating. But yeah, Loki's quite the trickster. And at one point, in order to save Midgard, he has to go out as a female horse and lure another horse away, and they don't see him for quite a while. And when Loki returns, he's got a colt with him.
Oh, awesome.
Still Hiddleston,
yeah.
though, right? Hiddleston? Still Hiddleston.
Yes, no, he's going to be in it. So everybody, so you're seeing for Falcon and Winter Soldier, you're seeing the two characters come back in that. Let me scroll up and find everybody's names in the way that things were.
Sebastian Stan,
Sebastian Stan, and the other guy.
Marky Pulaski. Nope. Jeremy
Marky
Flop Sweat. What's his name?
Sebastian Stan and Anthony
Mackie.
Anthony
and
Mackie.
Sebastian Stan.
also appearing in this show is going to be Zemo. And at the convention, he did don a purple mask. So there you go.
Hold on. Who's Zemo?
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Okay.
He was in Civil War.
It's not just a lightly alcoholic drink for the distinguishing drinker?
No, that's a Zemo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
All
Helmut Daniel Bruhl, who was
Yeah.
the guy who kind of, I mean, the main instigator for Civil War. Daniel Bruhl is Helmut. Isn't it Helmut Zemo?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
don't know
guy.
who it is.
Okay, I know who it is.
Yeah.
I know who
Yeah.
it is now. All right. I forgot.
So-
He's the one that did all the confession stuff to Black Panther in Civil War. Okay, I got it.
Coming out in the summer of 2021 on Disney Plus is a series called What If, based on the classic What If series from Marvel. The interesting thing about this is everybody is returning for this.
Yeah, like all the
Because they only have to
And
do
their
they only have
voices.
to do voices. Yeah,
They only
exactly.
have to do
Super
voices.
easy.
It's an
Yeah.
animated series, and Jeffrey Wright will be playing Uatu the Watcher. And so
love
we're going
that
to get to see
casting.
a lot of different what if tales spinning out of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And then the final announced Disney Plus title is Hawkeye, which comes out in the fall of 2021. Jeremy Renner reprising his role as that. Also getting to see female Hawkeye in this as well. And for people that are like, oh, Hawkeye, is he really interesting? If you look at the logo, they're actually using the logo from the 2013 run of Hawkeye, which everybody just has said is the best Hawkeye run that you will ever read. It is
Yeah.
so good. It's got Pizza Dog in it. It's where we get Hawk Guy. Hey, Hawkeye.
Who's the creator on that? Mark.
I want to say,
What was his
is
name?
it? I want to say. Now I forgot. Now we've been
Yeah.
scrolling back and forth through all of my notes. That's a Matt Fraction and David
Matt
Aja.
Fraction. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, so definitely you want to check that out when it comes out.
Great
So
series.
those are all the Disney Plus things. Now, one of the things that I said I wanted to do this in order, but I did want to jump back to WandaVision really quick because they did specifically say during the presentation that the events in WandaVision will lead to Doctor Strange 2, which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which comes out May 7th, 2021. So oh man, can I even talk about National Lampoon's European Vacation at this moment or not?
I believe the spoiler alert has been lifted on National Lampoon's European Vacation. Yes.
Okay, so at one point, there are various incarnations of the National Lampoon universe. And they're told in the movie, hey, there's this multiverse of National Lampoonness.
What?
turns out that that's not true.
Okay.
However, maybe that particular character wasn't lying after all, because Doctor Strange will be exploring the multiverse in the
that
Multiverse
darn-
of Madness.
Eric Idle, when he was wearing that fishbowl on his head in National Lampoon's European Vacation, and he was talking about the multiverse.
Yep.
I thought Eric Idle was totally BSing, because we know that Eric Idle is a big BSer.
Yeah.
But surprised me to see this title. It totally. Oh, okay. I guess
It
there is.
totally was. Also,
Yeah.
Marvel said this is going to be their first true horror film. And
Yeah.
considering that C. Robert Cargill, who wrote the first one, has also the mind behind Sinister and a couple of other horror movies, this should be very, very interesting.
Unless you
Yeah.
count Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. Oh.
That was just a horror to watch,
Different
not
kind
an
of
actual
horror, yeah.
horror
That's
story.
the joke.
Different-
That's the joke I'm making.
Different kind of horror show.
Does this mean, by
yeah.
the way, well, no, let's stay on this track, but I do want to ask about something that.
Go ahead.
That, the New Mutants movie.
Mhm.
What do we know what's happening with that? Like, that was supposed to be a good Marvel horror, and I know it was a Fox thing, but
Yeah, so that has been back and forth. It's been recut, re-edited. It's supposed to still be a movie, is my understanding, but it will appear on Disney Plus.
okay, gotcha. So that's Maybe we'll even get that at the launch of Disney Plus, because Disney Plus starts this fall, but we're not going to see the first Marvel thing until spring of next
May.
year.
Yeah, we won't actually.
No,
May
until
of
fall,
2020.
actually. Fall of
Oh,
2020, 'cause- yeah.
Well, at
the
first Disney
Marvel.
Plus stuff, but as far as Marvel Studios goes, May 1st of 2020, we'll see Black Widow. That has actually been shooting for quite some time now, 30 days. So they're about a third of the way through production on that. They showed a couple of fight scenes going on in that. David Harbour is showing up, and I forget what character he's playing in the
Hellboy.
in
It's the great crossover of Hellboy. No,
Man, I sat down and watched that movie over the weekend.
Yeah, it's poop.
And well, okay, little side trip here down Hellboy Lane. The cool thing about Hellboy is they touch on 3 awesome stories from the Hellboy universe, and they set them up. There's the movie opens with Hellboy in Mexico with the luchador vampires and all that stuff, and it's really, really cool. But kind of like what I was talking about, Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book, it's Neil Gaiman's retelling of those myths that he listened to growing up as a kid. And what happens in Hellboy is it feels like you got somebody who has read Hellboy once, maybe twice, got them really, really drunk, and then asked them to tell you these stories. And that's what came out of it. Because
So it's
the
drunk
setup is
Marvel
perfect.
history.
Well, drunk Hellboy history, but it's
Drunk
like
Hellboy history, yeah.
it is set up perfectly, and then they just collapse in on itself. It's interesting in what they're doing, but oh man, they just can't stick the landing on that. So
All right.
anyway, Black Widow
is
coming
that
out
her?
May 1st.
Is that what's her beak?
That is Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is a. I mean, this is a
Yeah,
prequel.
Shrug your shoulders, right?
All right.
Oh, this is a Black Widow movie. Okay.
This is a Black Widow movie, yeah. So we don't know what's going on there. Then coming out in the fall of 2020, and November 6th, is the Eternals. That is the one, again, we've heard a lot of talk about the Eternals, how they are a race of immortals that were sent to Earth to protect the Earth by the Celestials and to protect them from the Deviants. That movie, my understanding is that they are just started production of this, so everybody was on stage. So we've got Richard Madden, we've got Selma Hayek, we've got Brian Tyree Henry in this, Camille Najani, Angelina Jolie, Don Lee, Leah McHugh is a new one. Coming in, young actress there. So that should be very interesting. I think they showed off some of the very first teaser artwork for the Eternals today, but I haven't seen it. It's just basically the Celestials walking across the plains kind of thing.
It better be more than that, I guess, in the end.
Yeah. The one that I'm very excited about is Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because playing the title role of Shang-Chi is Simu Liu, I think I'm pronouncing his name somewhat correctly, from Kim's Convenience. And I have been a fan of Kim's Convenience since day one.
Yep.
He is an awesome guy on Twitter. He's an awesome guy on Instagram. Just an all-out great guy, and I'm glad that he's been hired for that. We do have to wait until February of 2021 for that movie to arrive in theaters.
Yeah, he'll be great because apparently, like in 2018, he reached out on Twitter to them and said, "Hey, I got a great idea for this movie. We should work together." And now somehow it's all happening. But his having watched, because I just started binging. Well, I shouldn't say I just started because I'm almost to the end. But I've been binging through Kim's Convenience. His role is fantastic. I love his relationship with his sister. He is great. And I kept thinking to myself while the show is going, why am I not seeing him in other things? Why has he not blown up into 1,000 other rad stuff? Now I think is his moment. This is going to be it. He's going to do really well. Very excited.
Yeah, what's funny is just before he had sent a thing out to Marvel saying, "Hey, Marvel, we need to talk about this," Ashley Victoria Robinson had actually written an article over on Major Spoilers as soon as the movie was released on, here are the actors that she would like to see play Shang-Chi, possible actors, and Simu was one of those. And so it's almost like our article goes up, he reaches out to Marvel. He didn't have a screen test until Sunday of last week, not this past Sunday. And then he wasn't hired until Tuesday before the Saturday announcement. So this is like a last minute hire for them going into this. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. So all right, sorry, keep going. I know we're getting to two very big deals, and I don't want to jump
Yeah, so
the gun
Doctor
here.
Strange already mentioned May 7th, 2021, and then we will have to wait a while until November of 2021 to see Thor: Love and Thunder. This was a lot of news over the last couple of weeks about this because Taika Waititi has been brought back in to direct that movie. The reason why this one is pushed back so far is because he does have to finish Suicide Squad first over at Warner Brothers. But a lot of people are... I will quote a Jane Foster quote from The Mighty Thor. Calm thine tits, people.
So wait, so are you telling me that a percentage of the internet audience has decided to rebel against the idea of Thor being a woman? Is that what you're telling me? I can't. I'm trying to grapple with this. I can't imagine that somebody somewhere might lose their shit over a thing that A, they know nothing about, and B, are dicks about it. Are you saying that's what's happening?
I'm just saying that there's a bunch of people who are already upset that Natalie Portman is coming back to reprise her Jane Foster role, and that Jane Foster has been deemed worthy to pick up Mew Mew and possess the power of Thor. People need to go and read the Jason Aaron, The Mighty Thor run, which is really, really cool. And the thing that's really cool about that Aaron run, and I don't know if they're going to put it in this movie or not, is that Jane Foster has cancer, and every time she transforms into the Mighty Thor, the cancer drugs are removed from her body. So she is actually killing herself every time she transforms into Thor, and that would be very interesting to explore in this movie. So that'll be interesting. We also see Tessa Thompson returning as the queen or the king of Midgard, or the Odinsville, or whatever it is.
Odinsville.
And she and they said, hey, she's looking for a king or a queen to rule with her, and then Chris Hemsworth as well will be back.
I just have my assumption is Asgardville. My assumption is that Thor Prime there, Chris Hemsworth, is on the ship and doing the Guardians 3 business.
Yeah, he's part of the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
But I mean, he's going to be in this movie. So that does bring up the question, where is Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Well, that is going to have to wait until James Gunn is done with his movie, which, maybe I said Taika Waititi is doing Suicide Squad. It's James Gunn who's doing Suicide Squad. And so we have to wait for that movie to finish before he can do Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was not released or announced at this show. And those are the 5 movies that have been announced from Marvel Studios as part of Phase 4. And my understanding is this is the complete Phase 4, which I was really surprised that they announced at the convention. Now, here's where things get a little interesting, Scott and Brian, and maybe if you guys have followed, the slotted releases where Disney has said, here are the dates that we are releasing movies from now until the end of time. There are 3 Marvel movies, 3 unannounced Marvel movies that have been announced for February 18th, 2022, May 6th, 2022, and July 29th of 2022. Now, there are a number of movies that we know that there are going to get sequels. Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, you heard, and he barked all these out as his like one last thing moment after all that.
It was kind of exactly one more thing, right?
But he didn't necessarily say that those are the 3 slots. He also said as he was leaving, oh, by the way, you guys all remember Copperhead from Luke Cage, Mahershala Ali?
Yeah.
You may remember him as Uncle Aaron from the best Spider-Man movie to be ever made.
Mahershala, by the way.
Yeah, Mahershala. There you go. He will be playing Blade. So everybody, welcome Blade to the stage. Oh, by the way, we have no more time to talk about anything else. So we don't know whether Blade is going to be a movie or if Blade is going to be a Disney Plus series. My guess is it's going to be a Disney Plus series.
I mean, I'd take either way. I want Blade back in a big way, and I think he's
and
effing
Mahershala
perfect.
Ali's like the best pick for that. I mean, Wesley Snipes was great. Don't get me wrong, but I love Mahershala Ali, and I can get past the whole. Well, wait, he's Cottonmouth in the MCU, even though that was Netflix MCU. But it's
Captain America also played Johnny Storm,
but not in an MCU property. The Netflix stuff was considered to be
it was supposed to be
the MCU canon.
But notice that for a lot of the things that have happened in that Netflix series, they danced around a lot of the Marvel Universe stuff.
Well, they did, and
They
it's
called
not
it,
like
what was it,
Agents of
the
Shield where
event?
they had cameos of
Right.
like Samuel Jackson and Kobe Smulders and stuff like that. Like so, I know. No, believe me. Come on, I know your argument. I'm just saying, and I'm certainly not. I don't want them to say, "Oh, you're right. He was on the Netflix Luke Cage thing. We can't have him be Blade," because I want him as Blade.
Yeah, I want him as Blade.
Yeah.
And look,
yeah.
if we,
Yeah, so I don't know.
If you,
I don't know
also-
where that's going to sit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he also mentioned, and I thought it was another thing as he was leaving the stage. We still haven't announced anything about Fantastic Four, but they're saying it's on the radar. And movies featuring mutants. I think was the way he phrased it.
He goes, "Oh, we're out of time. I didn't even have time to talk about the Fantastic Four. I didn't even have time to talk about mutants."
Yeah.
Right.
And the crowd lost their minds, and then
So
I lost my mind too.
yeah,
Still losing my mind.
yeah.
Kevin Feige or Feige, I keep
Figgle is how it's
Figgles,
We'll
yeah,
call him
Figgle.
Figglesworth.
Yeah,
Okay, so Mr.
Figglesworth.
Figglesworth. He has already said, look, yes, the mutants, the X-Men are on the horizon. We're just not going to take a swing at them right now. They are part of Disney and Marvel Studios. So we'll get to them, but don't expect them right away.
Yeah.
Except we still have 3 dates in 2022 that are open.
Right.
Also, not mentioned, of course, as I said, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or Captain Marvel 2 or Black Panther 2. I was really surprised that they announced all of Phase 4 at Comic-Con because next month we have D23.
Yeah, and that's usually where they did it last
right.
time. Phase 3 was announced at D20.
That's right.
20,
Well,
whatever.
actually, Phase 3 was, I think, announced at just an event at the El Capitan Theater.
Oh, it was
but-
an event, yeah.
But those 3 dates in 2022 and the confirmed Fantastic Four stuff
Yeah.
could all be big announcements at D23 next
Could
month
be.
in
Totally could
Anaheim.
be. And they are going to talk more about Stark Laboratories, the Stark stuff the Marvel
Right.
stuff that they're adding to the parks. Do we know, did they actually say definitively this is all the Phase 4 stuff, nothing else will be announced for Phase 4, or
No, they didn't. They didn't say
they
that
could
this
wedge
was
something else
They
in.
could certainly wedge something in, and if you look at that schedule, you have a May. So it's May 2020, November 2020. So that is repeated in 2021 with Doctor Strange and Thor. But then you also have Shang-Chi, which is a February release, and there is no 2021 spring movie release. Or I'm sorry, 2020. No, they do have that in. Yeah, so they could still do something for that February 2022. Could still be part of Phase 4. My guess is this may be Phase 4.
Yeah.
This may be it. Yeah,
may
I
be
mean,
it.
and
Yes.
if it is, I'm not complaining. It's 10 properties that I'm really excited for.
Right.
I'm hoping that they do with Shang-Chi what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Take, this not very well-known property, Marvel property, B-list at best, D-list probably, and make something massive and
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
out of it.
it got announced. I had to go look it up. I didn't know what it was. I'd never even
Yeah,
heard
so
of it.
this is the full Phase 4 is what the quote is being said. So
Okay.
my guess is if they're announcing stuff at D23, and for people that don't know what D23 is, it's Disney's annual event. It's their convention. So all the Star Wars stuff that we didn't get to hear at San Diego Comic-Con will be talked about at D23. All of the other Marvel dates I expect to be announced. If they teased Blade and Fantastic Four and the Mutants, I would not be surprised if we didn't hear a little bit about Phase 5 at D23. I do expect that Marvel will have a presence, especially with the Disney streaming service getting ready to launch, with Star Wars being a big part of the Disney streaming service and the upcoming movies, which, again, except for Red Stormtroopers, on display at the show, there were very few Star Wars panels, and there were none related to the movies, but there were some related to merchandise, some related to comic books.
Yeah, they're
But all
holding
that
out.
Star Wars other stuff is waiting for the big Disney.
Yeah,
convention.
they're holding out for their big deal. Will
And
there
there's
ever be
certainly
a?
nothing.
Oh, go ahead.
There's certainly nothing that says that in Multiverse of Madness or Loki or Thor that we don't see some sort of cameo by a mutant or a Richards,
I don't know.
Storm or Grimm. You never know.
I don't know. I saw this online. A perfect way to introduce the Fantastic Four back into the Marvel universe, and that is to tell a Fantastic Four series set in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we said it here on TMS.
Maybe that's where it was. Okay, that's where it was. Okay, set in the 1960s, and then come back, and then they go up into space, and then they don't return until present day.
Right. That's a good.
That would be.
That is a good way to do it.
Yeah, because they do the test rocket, then they come back. But I do like a series that would be set in the 60s, and then at the end of that series, they go off into space, and that's why they're not part of the modern.
That would be a great way to do
MCU.
it. And you could pull them into the multiverse of madness, right? Like, Doctor Strange is flipping around between 3 billion different realities and says, oh, in this one, there's a family of 4 people who, not really family, a couple of them are married, but a couple brother, sister, blah, 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 who are superheroes in their reality, and now we're going to bring them into ours or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like they've been in the negative zone the whole time, Adhesive Wombat. That is the way to do it. Yeah.
So there's a number of ways you can do it, and they've certainly proven in previous films that, while we like to think of the MCU starting with Tony Stark and Iron Man, there are characters that have been around since before. I mean, you had the first Avenger. You've had, experiments with the Hulk all taking place before the very first Iron Man movie. So you can do all of that stuff and still put it into continuity. It's just like you, the audience, just weren't made aware of it. You've got this guy with a scratched out eye that is completely aware of what's going on in the world of the MCU, and he's very aware of things that are happening. So I think that'll be fun and interesting to see. But it's a very exciting time for people that are like, well, what happens after Avengers? A whole bunch more.
I know what happens. Ant-Man 3, Attack a Bee-Man.
Yeah, they mentioned nothing about Ant-Man.
You can't rip on Ant-Man until you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott.
Oh, I'm not ripping. I'm into it. I like him. Ant-Man's one of my favorite characters in that whole thing. Scott Lang, dude. Spreading the word, doing the good deeds, turning small, turning big, doing what he got to do.
Okay.
He's great.
All right.
I have nothing negative about that to say. All right. Well, this is all good. There's obviously a lot to parse here. If you want more of it, lots of detailed stuff over at majorspoilers.com, of course. Tomorrow we'll be recording a new Comic Dorks. I have a feeling that may dominate our discussion.
Yeah, we'll have that, but we're also going to talk about Alan Moore also made an announcement about his retirement again. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about that during Comic
I thought he was long retired. This was news to me. I heard that and went, wait, you're not already retired from writing comics? Like, what are you talking about? Go back to your cave. But anyway, we'll find out what that is tomorrow on Comic Dorks and more. This week, Steven, anything else people should be watching out for on the site?
There was so much coming out of Comic-Con, especially on the media side. If you guys didn't see the HBO trailer for Watchmen, that looks amazing. If you didn't see some of the, and there really wasn't a whole lot of new comic book announcements, but you can go up to Major Spoilers and click on that SDCC tag on any of the articles, and it'll take you to the complete list, and you can see some of the big announcements that are coming out on the publishing side. And then, a lot of TV stuff that was there at the show as well, including some Star Trek stuff, which I'm sure is why you need to get Daryl in here to talk about that, because lots of minds blown at the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about a couple of those mind-blowing events. So we'll get Daryl on here in a minute and do that. But check it all out, majorspoilers.com, Major Spoilers on Twitter. Steven, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Stay hydrated.
Bye. It's good advice right now.
It's true.
I didn't drink near enough water yesterday. I can kind of feel it today. I feel dried out.
A little dried out, yeah.
Like a withery old piece of wood. All right. It is that time of the day and that time of the week where we bring in Daryl. And we hope for the best when we do that.
all we can do is just cross our fingers and hope for the best.
Yep. Thankfully today we got a lot to say.
Yeah.
He's apparently at home today. He's apparently at home today. Whoa. Oh, he's apparently. This is going great. This is going great. Hey, Daryl, turn down your radio.
Oh, I know what's going on here.
Oh, my Lord.
Turn down your radio. Oh, I know what's going on here.
Oh, my Lord. Turn down your radio.
Oh, I know what's going on here.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I know what's going on here. Oh, I know what's going on here.
I'll call you back. All right, I'm calling him back. I thought if that went on just a little longer, I would actually reach a new level of insanity.
Like we've just entered the multiverse of madness.
That was horrendous. I'm really sorry, everyone who heard that. I'm not going to edit it, though, because that was funny. All right, we're trying him again.
Who's got us in a time loop? Wesley, get us out of this.
Exactly. All right, now we're good.
Sanity has been restored.
Oh, your volume is
Super
like
hot.
super hot, like 1,000% higher than it should be.
Oh, what's going on here? I don't know.
Well, maybe it's better.
Are you on you're on like a headset mic, right?
No, I'm on the usual thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Your volume just shot to right up to hell and
super
back.
tinny too.
I don't know if you got like just your if you're on a Windows box. I've noticed this lately. My Windows machine, for no reason, without warning, will just jack my volume up. It'll just suddenly, it's not auto adjusting. It'll just be, you know what? This time I'll be at 9,000%. How you like that? It says.
This is better.
Can we all just finally agree that Windows sucks?
Windows
Come
does-
on.
it
I
does
mean, I
suck.
know we've been tiptoeing around it since 1984, but
It sucks.
I'm just kidding. I just want all the emails to go to Scott.
Yeah. Also, 84 would have been way too early for Windows, right?
Well, that's when the Mac came out.
That's true. Hey, hold on a second there, Daryl. Say it again. Say words.
Now you're
Let's
on
see.
room
What's the
mic,
input? What's the output?
Oh.
Is this?
That's really loud.
Shoot.
It's really loud and tinny
Yeah.
AF.
It's.
Oh, how about this?
Oh, it's better.
Oh, good.
It's better now. What did you do?
The Windows thing decided to turn itself up to full blast.
Oh yeah, turn it down a little bit more, and then we've got the makings for popular content.
Full
8%.
saucer separation.
Yeah, there we go.
8%.
Better. You sound better now. Hey Daryl, I'm gonna play this.
Those are probably really salty, I would think.
Yeah, there's your intro for today's great Trek news, which is all about Comic-Con 2019 and all the revelations we got. And I don't think Data's face looks right, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, should we probably start with the Picard deal?
Let's start with Picard.
Sure.
Yeah. Boy, you're still really hot. I think your thing's adjusting up without you wanting it to. I think that's what's happening there.
Maybe get a little further from the microphone for a little bit.
I think it might be Skype trying to adjust them up.
Oh, might be right.
Yeah. And Wyatt thinks you're quiet.
The Enterprise is having a problem there too.
Yeah. But while you're doing that, I'll just say this. I like the trailer. I'm very excited about it. It is got some stunt casting in there for sure. And we also had confirmation over the weekend that Riker is in it. He wasn't.
Troy.
Yeah, and Troy. They're not in the trailer, but they're in Picard in some fashion, whether it's small bits or larger arcs. We don't know. I am 100% behind the idea of 7 of 9 being involved.
Yeah, a little crossover action.
Yeah, I'm great with that. She's great, and Jerry Ryan's great, and I have no problem with her reprising that role in whatever way they're going to do it here. There's obviously some Borg storyline happening because these reclamated Borg stuff is an interesting.
We get a shot of the Borg cube and.
Yep. What else? Who else shows up? So Data.
Well, the fact that we get Data, who's apparently being kept in a drawer just under Picard's socks and underwear.
Yeah, got little Data parts under there.
Yeah.
He says something at the end. His face looks weird. I don't like it. I know.
Well,
Got to do a lot of makeup.
Brent
and stuff.
Spiner's older than he was,
Yeah,
then.
it's just weirding me out. That's all.
A lot of makeup has to fill in the cracks.
Yeah.
If they just shrunk the image horizontally, it'd be probably normal-ish.
Yeah, it's a wide thing.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It throws me off. But other than that, and it's not even a problem. Like, who cares? Like, I'll take whatever I can get. That's just the problem is I've just watched him a lot in reruns, and when you do that, it throws you when you see him again. But that's true of Picard too. Picard's a lot older here, and the only other thing that really took me out of that trailer is him showing up at Starfleet Academy or whatever the hell it is. And it's the Anaheim Convention Center, and it's straight up just that. They don't alter it. They don't change it. It is 1,000% the Anaheim Convention Center. The only thing missing, in my view, is a BlizzCon sign and welcome to it. Right? Like,
Well, let's talk about that because, all right, let's say it's the future. We've just decided to create Starfleet, and Starfleet is now going to be a thing. Oh, we need to come up with some cool headquarters. What's a place that's big enough? You know what? The Anaheim Convention Center is pretty nice. It's on the West Coast. It's pretty good. I think Starfleet just in canon, they just take over the Anaheim Convention Center.
Let's hope that that's how that goes. I have a feeling it won't, since all that stuff's supposed to be in San Francisco. So I think that this is just them saying, hey, that's future-y looking. But they should have altered it. They should have done some changes to make it so it wasn't so blatant, because I can't get it out of my head. It's weird.
And cadets apparently have to go through 45 minutes of security gates to be able to get into Starfleet every morning for class.
And they're the exact same what do you call them? Coconut trees, palm trees.
Right, the palm trees. Yeah.
I can tell where he is in relation to the Hilton. Like, it's just throwing me. It's just a weird. Yeah. I'm too close to it. I can't separate myself from that place. But fine. It's whatever. Who cares? It looks like it's going to be good though, and there is more of him on ships, flying places. Like, I was worried about the courtroom stuff, and it was just going to be flashbacks. But this appears to be him getting out there.
Yeah, a big deal comes up and he has to leave and go into space.
Yeah.
It's not the winery show that we thought it might be.
That looked like it was going to be from the poster.
Yeah. And not only that, the original teaser just told us nothing. But this is a lot. I don't hear a lot of talk. Okay, so here's my big bummer thing. If you're going to have all the stunt casting, great. I have no problem with it. Like, that's super great. It got me excited to see all those people. Well, those two people, and then hear about the others. But you got to get me some Worf in here. Like, give me a little Worf. The freaking, what's his name, looks great. He is killing it. Dorn. There's nothing wrong with Michael Dorn. Unless there's some secret, like, everyone hated him on set or something. Like, get him in there and have, some DS9 connection if you have to, or whatever. I don't care. I want Worf in this.
Michael Dorn is without honor.
He is not a merry man, so get him in there and make it happen. I don't know.
Well, we know he wants to be.
Oh, we do know.
He's always wanted to be. He wanted his own show, the Worf Show, but I guess they chose Picard.
Part of it was just calling it the Worf Show.
Yeah, that's actually what I want. The Worf Show.
Yeah,
starring Michael Dorn as the Worf.
What must I do to convince you people?
Die. All right, so you need some of that, is what I'm saying. Anyway, your thoughts, your take on it? What'd you think of that there, Daryl?
Well, my favorite thing is it's beyond. It's not a prequel. It's going into the future. It's past TNG, and that's what I'm excited about, because now they can do anything.
I've heard some complaints. I heard somebody say, this doesn't look like the TNG I grew up with.
Oh, good though.
Yeah, but see, this is what they mean, and I hate to tell them this, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, everybody, but the way that Star Trek Next Generation, and for that matter DS9 and Voyager, the way that those shows were constructed, filmed, arranged, shot, all of that, is no longer a way you make TV shows. It's just not a thing anymore. The aesthetic of it has changed, and I don't mean suddenly BSG came along and everybody went, ooh, we got to go gritty. I don't mean that. I mean, stuff stopped looking like that after the 90s. We moved on. We can do more dynamic things. Special effects have moved on. All of that stuff has moved on, and also budgets have absolutely moved on. So you gotta get okay with it or ignore it, because if you don't like the idea that this stuff feels more cinematic, then what you're telling me is you don't like how all of TV has done that. That's all television, not just Star Trek. All of it went this way. So if you want that kind of stiff standing around, looking at each other, meet me in my ready room, like if you want that pace, you're not going to get it. It's just not.
You'll get that with the Orville.
Yeah, I guess the Orville has this fun way of straddling that, right? Like they can do both those things at once, and they really are paying homage to that thing. I just don't think nobody at CBS All Access is going to make a stand around and talk show. Now, I would like them to be more science-y. I would like the show to be more true to those origins. But sometimes they're going to say, look, this action is more important here than a lecture from Picard about, the history of something. That's just how they're going to go. So we got to make our peace with it, and then enjoy it for what it is.
I think they'll put in some of that, but because it's what Star Trek is.
Right.
But it's not going to be all that, and then it shouldn't be.
Right. So there you go. Brian, are you excited about this? I mean, you got to be, right?
Totally, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you keep saying stunt casting, and I know you don't mean that in a negative term. I mean, I'm super excited about Jerry Ryan, the whole crossover thing there. I'm excited about, all right, it's not just a how's he doing in retirement kind of thing. It's it's exciting to see that there is an actual story, and it doesn't feel like a story where it's like we just have Picard involved for like 5 minutes of it and the rest of the stuff is kind of called or phoned in, like he's going to be on subspace communication saying, all right, well, now you need to go check, go visit so and so on planet X and see what he says about it. He's going to be involved with it the whole time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of trippy looking Vulcans, and there's like he seems like he's got a crew that reminds me of like a Star Wars kind of crew or a Firefly kind of crew. Like there's a
it's not a Starfleet thing. He's out of Starfleet now.
Right, so he's like on some smuggler ship or who knows what. That's exciting.
I like all this. Yeah. I wasn't as excited. I mean, I was excited for a little bit, but I got really excited when I saw the trailer and also found out who's going to be involved in this.
Yeah, and who doesn't like extra wide data?
Extra wide data face. That's right. You need extra data storage.
Yeah, it's more.
That's data storage.
Data storage.
That drawer.
Yep. It's data storage.
Maybe he's like a squirrel and he stores
that drawer.
Yeah. Exactly. Data storage. Oh my lord. That's pretty. Somebody has to have coined that somewhere.
I think somebody did. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we can do this.
You may now give birth.
Let's talk about the other stuff that's going on there. Or do you want to break down what else happened Star Trek wise? What else What else we get?
Geez, there's just way too much. There's the animated series, which we now see the style of. There's lots of pictures now out.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's okay. It's just the modern cartoon style.
And this is Below Decks? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? Below Decks? Is that it?
Star Trek
Lower Decks.
Below Decks.
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. That's right. Below Decks is the Bravo reality show that Tina, for some reason, is watching.
Right. Below Decks. Sorry, keep talking.
Now know
Lower Decks, Scott. Lower Decks.
Or sorry, yeah, there it is. Lower Decks.
We know who the voice actors are. And they are, the main ones are Tawny Newsome, Jack Quaid, Jerry O'Connell. I'm excited about that. I always liked him and stuff.
Yeah, he's a slider, that guy.
Yeah. What else did he do? Because I'm getting him confused with other people.
He's, he has a twin brother, so you might confuse him with him.
Which one married Rebecca Romaine?
Him, I think. I think Jerry.
Okay, it was him. All right.
And he was the fat kid in Stand By Me.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, and then he was in Sliders. He was in that Piranha 3D
Shuffle, right? And he had to go retrieve that baseball from the dog that's the
Goonies.
Dog.
That's Goonies you got there.
And then he had to go get that baseball from the dog. That was on
definitely also not that movie. That's your other one, the baseball kids one. Yeah. You're mixing them all up.
Gremlin from the old man at the antique store.
Said don't get them wet. And yeah, you got it right. You nailed that whole thing is right. Anyway, Jerry O'Connell's cool. What's any other notable voices in the cast?
Those are the main ones. There's a character that is a cat.
Yeah.
You know, like in the animated series, that cat.
Oh, shut up! Please tell me that they don't bring that cat back.
I don't know if it's that. I don't think it's that exact one because it would be really old by then, and they don't live that long.
Yeah, that thing's garbage poop.
Looking at the animation style, it looks like it's reminding me of Kim Possible, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very similar to that. I mean, that's the modern, and this is for kids, so or they're aiming at it.
Oh, there really is a cat wearing the medical officer is a cat.
No, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in then, I guess. I don't know what to make of that. It looks fine. You know what? It looks like it might be more comedic than I thought.
Yeah.
The quality.
This is a kids one. The kids one is going to be on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And they didn't say much about that.
Jerry O'Connell's name is Commander Ransom. So that's cool. What about the other one? Isn't there another animated thing, or am I thinking of something else? What am I thinking of?
The CGI one that's going to be on Nickelodeon. But they didn't say anything about that.
Okay, so that's not been talked about. All right. Well, fair enough.
Today we learned that communication is possible with his arms wide open and when the walls fell.
When the walls fell. So, what else? Anything else happened?
Discovery.
Oh, Discovery.
Discovery, yeah.
David Ajala? Is that his hit?
I don't know.
Well, that guy from Supergirl is going to be on Discovery in season 3.
What's his deal?
Oh.
Who's he?
I suspect he's going to be our captain of the season, since we get a new one every season.
Yeah, this is their thing, isn't it, with Discovery? Just swapping captains out.
What was Manchester Black in Supergirl?
Yeah.
In this most recent season. Okay. Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Like that guy? No Anson Mount?
I like that guy.
Anson Mount's out. No more
No,
Anson
but
Mount.
they are doing. There's rumors of they're talking about. I must be careful with my words.
Yeah.
They're talking about an Anson Mount series with Spock in #1.
Okay.
But that's not official that I know of.
All right, I'd be into it because I like that guy.
But they are for sure making a short trek with that.
Yeah.
Of that.
Did you hear Tarantino say out loud that he would be 100% okay if his last movie that he directs is a Star Trek movie? It's an interesting thing for him to say. He was just like, yeah, if the last movie I make, that'd be great. Show me your feet. Like, that's basically it. That's an interesting thing to say. Like, he's not, that doesn't bother him. It's like, he doesn't think that would affect his legacy. He wants to do this. I don't know if that's
wait till he does it, and then he says, ooh, I don't want that thing to be my last movie, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Take your shoes off.
Okay.
Okay.
Take your shoes off.
I'm Joe Pesci all of a sudden.
Every minute, everything is take your shoes off with him in the end. What else, Daryl? There's more. What else?
Oh, what else?
Oh, is there Orville things? Oh, Hulu's getting Orville now.
Oh yeah, Orville is off Fox.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Which I feel like that's a good move. Like, I think that they can do more with the Orville on Hulu. Hopefully, it's not a place to die. Hopefully, it's a place to increase the edge of the show. You know.
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale is there, and it's doing great.
Yeah.
It seems to be doing okay, that show.
Yeah, it seems to win awards and become water cooler talk. They make
So
good
maybe-
originals over there, sure.
Maybe less peeing on statues and more fun exploration, science-y type stuff.
My favorite thing from last week's announcements have nothing to do with Star Trek or Marvel or Disney or anything. It was that the showrunner for Man in the High Castle is going to produce a Warhammer 40K series, live action series for Prime. And I could not be more excited about that idea. And I know that 40K is not everyone's bag of pajamas, but for me,
that's right.
Good. Very excited about that. Anyway, all right, back to Trek. What else?
Yes.
Like a bat to the head.
About the last thing there is that there's going to be a Tribble episode, short Trek. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, short Trek? Oh, you mean
You'd rather
the
see it as a short Trek, one of those little shorts that they do in between seasons. You'd much rather see it as a short Trek though than a full episode of Discovery,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I would.
For sure. Let's just do it in here and then we can get it out of our system.
And Daryl, no movie news at all, right? At this event, we didn't get anything about a film.
No movie news.
Interesting. I mean, the shift may be the focus. Well, I think it's clear. The focus right now is let's get all the TV stuff going and streaming stuff going, and movies can wait a little, I guess.
I'm not well, they're different companies now. So Paramount does the movies. So that's all their deal, whatever they want to do with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're not doing something.
I don't know. It just surprises me. There's just such a shift from there was no Trek on TV for so long, and now suddenly there's too much of it almost.
Well, they want it to be going all year instead of just the one Discovery show. They want a lot of things so you can just keep watching and not unsubscribe from CBS All Access.
I wonder if this Star Trek cartoon will scratch the basic Star Trek need. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It has to.
Here's the planet. We've never seen it before. We've gone down with an away team. Oh no, the gelatinous cube is eating our ensign. Like, I want Star Trek. I want raw ass Star Trek from that cartoon.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll get it, but I hope we get it.
I hope so. It has to.
Yeah.
Or it's not Star Trek. It's just some cartoon.
The style, Brian's right. It's very Kim Possible, this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It should be Kim's Convenience style. That'd be great. All right. Well, Daryl, I think that's everything for now.
Yep, looks like it.
Lots of details to come, of course. We'll talk about them here on the show. It's always fun to hang out and chat about all things Star Trek. Daryl is the Trek Nerd on Twitter. You can find him at This Week of Trek at thisweekoftrek.com, where I'm guessing you guys will have a huge roundup of all this stuff as well. Right?
We already did.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, listen.
Set fire to your boat and sail away. Bye. All right. I don't know what that meant. I can't explain everything I say. It's just not possible.
I know.
It's not Kim possible.
Nor should you nor should you have to.
Yes, indeed. All right. We're going to play a mashup before we go today.
Cool.
From Jamie.
Cool.
You may be familiar with his other works.
His work?
Yeah.
Yes. I like
his other
work.
mashups that he's done. Boy, I was really starting to slump in my chair. I got to stop doing that. Let's see here. He sent this in the form of an MP3 file, which I will now play. All right, it's called Rubbing His Beans.
Great.
Okay. I don't know what to expect from this, except that sounds gross. Here it is.
If I was a rich person.
So you're just like horking in everybody's poop and farts. I've been something up the butthole. I've been ripped into shreds. Anytime there's a dog involved, things get weird. Ah, number one. You've taken number two on the carpet again.
Roque Picard. Roque Ron-Rook.
You've enjoyed the tip of his arrow. You just like the full shaft at this point.
Right, exactly. Yes, just the tip. A burglar in Ann Arbor, Michigan, disclosed his location by farting behind a couch as the Madonna Justify My Love video.
He has cones where her breast should be. Not cool.
Now give me a coffee with 11 sugars and 14 cups of cream in it.
No styrofoam shit. Bring me a real cup. Jericho was all the power went out. Nobody can get it on again.
Damn, there's no power. None of us can get it on.
No more babies. That's it. Humanity dies a slow death because we can't procreate anymore.
We can't get the power.
Yep. There you go. The arrow is in my bum. I'm going to die from the bum arrow. No, it's warm and salty and the worst thing in your mouth. That looks like I could chew it.
Galileo.
Is this your duty?
Clean up my number two, number one. I sure am lonely on this planet.
But I'm tough and can hold all your trash. Today we're going to rub our beads and pray for Trump. That's all he does now.
His beans or his beads? What's he rubbing?
I said beans, didn't I? I think I meant
beads. You said beans. He's rubbing his beans.
Picture that for a while. Just put that in your head. Oh, it makes my crotch hurt.
I'm going to go in my sculpture garden and rub my beans for half an hour.
I'll have a camera there.
As we know.
Oh, man. Maybe we don't need him anymore. Maybe you can just be him. Maybe that'll work.
Just be Third Eagle?
Yeah,
sure, I can do that.
You just be
I'll
Third
take
Eagle.
over.
Yeah, you're the new Third Eagle, Brian. Come up with
I'll just use the I'll use the Face app and just oldify myself. If only we could do that live, so I could do a whole show.
That would be glorious.
That would be.
I would enjoy it. All right, we're gonna take our leave. This is the deal. Regular week of shows, so come on back for those. It is the today's the 22nd. In 2 days, we finally have no more fireworks because you know how we have 2 of these in this month.
Oh, right, Utah Day or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's our whatever. What do we even call it? It's not State Day. It's like a
Freedom Day.
I think we call it Pioneer Day, but it's like the day we did statehood, or maybe it's when the pioneers arrived. I don't know. Whatever it is, the fireworks go off until then, and then we're done with them, and I'm sick of it. So there's that. So wish us luck there. Patreon.com/TMS is how you can support our program. We love those of you who do. If you haven't done it before, consider it. Patreon.com/TMS. You can find everything else you need, ways to contact us, phone numbers, emails, Twitter accounts, all that at frogpants.com/TMS. All right, Brian, let's play a song.
Yes, sir. This one goes out to Amir Vasquez. He says, "Hey, Brian, July 18th was my birthday, and I turned the right age of Don't Panic, 42. And I would like to request a song from your grand library of music archives. I've been a long listener of TMS since its inception. You guys do a great show. I'm really proud of the magical bond you guys have created, not only as friends, but with the community. Aw. Happy belated birthday to Scott. Peace and humptiness forever, signed Amir."
Nice.
That's awesome. Happy birthday. Hope you had a great birthday on the 18th. I'm going to knock over my 3D print scraper here. Scrape.
Like you do.
Like you do. So he had a bunch of different choices. The first one was a cover of Golden Slumbers / Carry That Weight, one of the songs from the end of Abbey Road, that second half, side 2 of Abbey Road. This is a great cover right here that I decided to play for this occasion. It is from a live session recorded with Mumford & Sons, where they perform Golden Slumbers and Carry That Weight, Once There Was a Way to Get Back Home Again. Here is, or are, Mumford and his sons and Golden Slumbers / Carry That Weight.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
You may now give birth.
Okay. I'll do that, Mr. Wharf.
Now give birth.